Guys. So we have Deputy Mayor Jacqueline Guzman here in the studios with me, Raúl Blaze. How's your day going so far?
It's going great. I actually just came from the beach. So
Oh,
I had a moment to, enjoy my spring break with my kids. And so we came straight here.
oh wow. And how has the spring break been so far with the kids?
For them this year, not so great.
Okay.
I've been focusing on my business
Yes.
and as far as city business, my
Yes.
campaign. So this year they're just home relaxing, bored.
Okay. And before we get to what is it like? Before I get into it, what is it like being both a mother and being in public life and doing a
Yes.
business? What's that like?
It is very challenging,
Mhm.
but it's not for the weak. I can say that much. So my
Oh.
children, they're very understanding. I communicate with them very well. They know when I'm with meetings or if I'm busy. We have our fun time, but then we have, the serious time.
Yes.
They're also involved in sports. So I
Okay.
try and balance everything. But so far, the past year and a half, it's been going well.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
wow! And you are from Florida. You went to a local high school, but you've also been in New York and Las Vegas. Tell us a little bit about that
Sure.
that trip, that little
So,
tour.
so I was born in New York. Brooklyn, New York is my
Yes.
background. I've been raised in plantation since I was like 5 or 6 years old.
Okay.
Then Sunrise when I was a young teenager. And then when I graduated, I went to Piper High School my freshman year.
Okay.
I graduated South in 2000. And then I went to Las Vegas and finished healthcare, a degree in medical assisting. So I enjoyed for a few years my college degree, the nightlife,
Yes.
And then I decided to become a mom and came back home and raised my kids in Sunrise ever since.
Oh wow! And what led you to want to be a part of serving the people of Sunrise?
That's a great question. So for years, I've always been very helpful. I would give my shirt off my back. I give them the last dollar if I had since I was young. And so as I got older and I had children, I wanted to instill that in their lives as well.
Okay.
So my older son actually is 14, but at 7 years old, he was pretty much community oriented.
Okay.
And surprisingly, instead of having a birthday when he turned 8, he
Mhm.
wanted to help the homeless.
Wow.
So since that moment, which is almost 7 years, because he's going to be like 15 this year.
Okay.
Since then, we have been involved as a family, giving
Yes.
back to the community, the city of Sunrise, Broward County, Hands on Broward, Ronald McDonald House.
Yes.
I mean, you name it. We've been involved in serving the community for many years.
Oh wow! And what are some of the challenges someone faces, whether being a mom or not? What are some of the challenges someone faces? I realize that there are some issues that I would love to advocate for, but moving into being a representative, what's the challenges? Because like I can say, hey, I would love to be the mayor of Lake Worth, where I'm from, but I got to go home and knock on doors, and I don't want to talk to people.
Yeah.
So what are the challenges, and what's the process like?
There are so many challenges.
Wow.
But I have to say, I was never into politics before.
Oh wow!
It was more community advocacy for me.
Yes.
And so when I decided to run and I'm in this position now, it's been a huge life transformation, having to understand, everyone's point of views, being neutral, obviously,
Yes.
representing every side, every party,
Yes.
regardless of my own political status.
Yes.
I'm a representative for the entire city of Sunrise. So
Yes.
I'm not biased. I'm very open. And so the challenges, I'd say maybe it's just a matter of being open-minded
Yes.
and listening and understanding that it's not just me making any policy changes or implementing anything.
Mhm.
I have colleagues. I have a mayor. I have
Yes.
3 other commissioners, a city management team. So it's a matter of being able to work with everyone and come to a meeting at the end.
Wow, and I see that the Sunrise is a very mixed. I'm looking at the biographies, and you
Yes.
are. I see a Jamaican there. I see other people. I know, of course, I'm Jamaican. So,
Yeah.
but you are the first Hispanic woman to be
I'm
elected.
the first Hispanic woman. It's been over 13 years we've had a woman in office.
Yes.
The previous one was Sheila Alou, who's been very supportive of my campaign.
Okay.
But overall, we have a mix of Hispanic, Haitian, Jamaican, white,
Wow.
Asian. I mean, you name it. We are
Wow.
very diverse in the city of Sunrise.
Wow, and being whenever you are, first of all, whenever people consider politics to be a male-dominated era, which is not true because every time when men involved in stuff, there's always testosterone and fighting or whatever, right? But now you're being a woman and also being a mom and being a first, right? Do you think is there any pressure on you to deliver anything different, or you just, I'm gonna just do what I do because I know what I do best? How do you feel?
It's a mix of everything.
Okay.
So I know my talent, I know my skills, I know my passion, and the purpose that I have for my life and for our community, for my children.
Yes.
Being a first Hispanic woman, I understand that I do have a lot of Hispanic community looking at me like, oh wow, they're so excited, I'm a woman, Hispanic woman, so I have to represent obviously to the best of my ability, which I do. The only downfall I'd say is that I don't speak Spanish fluently. So I get that, back and forth, like I'm not Spanish enough, or I call myself a gringa, like I told you. But at the end of the day, I cook Spanish food, I dance. I mean, I love my Puerto Rican culture, and my kids embrace it as well.
Okay, awesome. Puerto Rican culture. Listen, that's something on a different level.
Yeah.
What to you? What does it mean to be Puerto Rican? What's Puerto Rican identity to you?
Oh my!
Because I'm going to throw that one in because you guys are so the passion that Puerto Ricans express themselves with.
Yes.
What does that mean to you to be Puerto Rican?
It's just a matter of our love for the culture, our love for the food, the music. I mean, we're very embracing to every culture. Like we don't discriminate. I have to say, I know there are some other Latin cultures that maybe do.
Yes.
But for the all Puerto Rican family that I know, friends, people I've met, I mean, everyone, we're just so fun loving and we like to have a good time and we just love life.
Okay, awesome. Now, with your public engagement, right? You have a few things that you're more passionate about than some. Would you like to tell us? I heard you mention the homeless before and healthcare. Yes. What are some of the things you're most passionate? I'm not sure you're passionate about all of them.
Yeah.
What are the things you're most passionate about?
So, being a healthcare professional myself, one of the things I mentioned during my campaign and also when I came into office was I thought it was important for our city of Sunrise to have a healthcare hospital in our city. And surprisingly, Lauderhill, Plantation, Weston, Coral Springs, I mean, you name it, every city has a hospital, but we didn't. And we are one of the largest cities, almost 100,000 population. And tourists, I mean, you name it. So sure enough, I brought that to the attention of our city management. And it just so happened that there's been talk for years. And if finally we move forward, and just recently, the commission supported a new hospital to be built in the city of Sunrise, which is huge for us.
Oh my God.
That's coming very soon.
But can you imagine if you weren't in politics, right? Can you imagine Sunrise not having an hospital?
I know.
You're telling me this. I'm like, what?
It's crazy. No one realizes. I mean, we're known for tourism, our mall.
Yes.
We have parks. I mean,
yes.
There's so many other things great that are happening in the city that we sometimes realize, well, we've got a hospital down the road, but we need one in our community accessible. So I'm looking forward to that build very soon. Okay.
And for someone who's not familiar with South Florida geography, what are some of the cities surrounding Sunrise?
So Sunrise is in the middle between Plantation, Davie, Weston, Tamarack, Lauderhill. So we're right there in the center. So very west of Broward County, close to the Everglades.
Okay, guys. So that was your lesson in geography today. Mine and yours. Okay, because I had to ask. I'm from Palm Beach County, so I have to ask these questions, because I call everywhere Sunrise. Everywhere Sunrise or Plantation for me or Broward. So I'm glad for that. And okay, so representing, you find representation to be very important. Tell me, it says here that you're a two-time survivor of a heart attack survivor.
Yes.
That I when I hear things like that, I'm like flabbergasted. Tell me about that and how that affected your moving in healthcare being a passion of yours.
Yeah, thank you. So I just turned 40 this past November. So 10 years ago, I actually experienced 2 heart attacks. The first one was silent, and exactly a week following, I had a massive heart attack. I had 99% blockage in my main artery. I was in ICU for a week. And at the time, I was a single mom of 2 younger kids, which were 2 and 4. Now they're 12 and 14.
Yes.
And I have a new 7-year-old. But so over the years, I'd have to say, like, advocacy for me was important to share because I never knew the signs. I never realized at a young age myself, I'd be able to experience something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I felt it was important to help other women to know the signs to prevent, death and leaving their children behind. So I was this close to
Wow.
having my children without a mom. So it was tough.
Wow. Guys, if you're just joining me, of course, I'm here with Deputy Mayor Jacqueline Guzman. We're talking about life. We're talking about the reality of death and leaving your kids behind. We're talking about representation, and we're talking about it's still March, and women are doing great things, of course, and Miss Latinas, of course, are doing great things, so we have to big them up. We're gonna go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll be having Deputy Mayor here still talking. So if you have any questions, you can pop them here. I know Sunrise people are on here, so if you have any questions, please pop them in, okay? Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Raúl Blaze Show. I'm your host with the most, Raúl Blaze. I'm still waiting on my people on the app to jump in. Maybe they're still in traffic in New York or wherever they are. Welcome to my people here on Instagram joining in, and welcome to my people on YouTube. Of course, I'm here with the Deputy Mayor of Sunrise herself, and we're having a wonderful story about life and, of course, healthcare. And there are so many people who believe that healthcare and being healthy is something beyond their reach. But sometimes there are some simple things you could do to become healthier, right?
Of course.
What are some of the things people can do to try to?
So the doctors say even just 30 minutes of cardio, just walking, something very brief and not so invasive.
Okay.
That would help with just making your heart stronger.
Okay, wow. And of course, guys, I'm also a Zumba teacher, right?
Oh, really?
I have my class on Margate every Saturday.
God.
So one day maybe you can come and stop by.
I have to.
Yes. So I some of them come to my classes on Saturdays. So I do it at LA Fitness, but I do it at Margate too. So I know the importance of staying healthy.
Yeah.
And are you pushing for any other healthcare measures here in Sunrise? Are you trying to educate about?
Yeah. So every February is the American Heart Month. And so the city of Sunrise, since the past couple of years, has been advocating for moving and staying healthy and staying active. And so we have a tennis club in our city. We have an athletic center, which is brand new. And we've encouraged our members to get active and kind of encourage them to do something fun.
Where is the athletic center?
It's on Oakland between Nob Hill and Hiatus.
Okay, that sounds close by.
Yeah, next to our police department.
Okay, okay, guys, you heard that, guys? So you have no excuse, and I'm gonna drag you drag some of you out there when I'm going myself. Yeah. Okay, so a little bit of cardio per day. You know, of course,
eating healthy. I mean, that's number one.
Yes, and okay.
Lots of water.
A lot of water.
That's one of my challenges because I'm not a big water drinker, but I have grown to like water.
I've actually started using like a reminder because I stopped using a reminder because I do personal training. My body gets rid of water real quick, so I'm always drinking. So, but I've realized for some people having water isn't really. They don't realize that they haven't. When last you had some water? Can't remember. Yep. And some people have less than one of these per day. That is scary.
Yes.
That is scary. Do you drink a lot? Do you drink a lot of water? Or
I don't drink enough? A lot. I drink enough for me because I'm not a big water drinker.
Okay.
But I push myself to do so for myself, for my weight, even just being healthy. Okay. Yeah, and I know when my body needs it. I can feel it.
Yes. Yeah. Like yeah. So next to healthcare, what is something else you're trying to are there other things in healthcare you want to talk about? But aside from healthcare, what other initiatives are you pushing for in Sunrise?
So I am big on our youth programming, public safety. These are some things I think are very important in our community. As a child advocate myself, I actually was with the Guardian Ad Litem program, which pretty much helps any foster child who's in the system and kind of mentors them, is their voice between their foster family and the court system. Okay. So it's just a matter of, keeping up and make sure they're safe. So I did that for quite a few times, for years. Overall, just making sure that children are in a good position. We don't have much jurisdiction when it comes to our schools. Okay. But programming is important for me. So we've been pushing for, I don't want to say just yet, until it's official. Okay. But we're looking forward to having a very known aftercare program in our community that focuses on mentorship, programming, and you name it, for our children. And
you spoke about Ronald McDonald. Tell me a little bit about that.
So Hands on Broward, which is here in Broward County, they are one of the most amazing nonprofit organizations for family and children to volunteer not just for hours for high school because it's required, but more so just a passion to give back to the community at a young age as a family. So Ronald McDonald's House was one of their nonprofits they partner with. Habitat for Humanity was one. I mean, anything that's a matter of volunteering in Broward County, Hands on Broward is usually right behind it. So there's a great organization to get involved with.
Okay, awesome. And tell me a little bit about public safety. What would you say public safety is in the first place, and what are some of the initiatives?
Public safety can be a number of things, but for me, it's a matter of keeping our streets safe.
Yes.
Not just with our police officers, but overall just making sure that our streets are straight, safe for just everyday driving on the road, you name it. Cleanliness, I mean, everything to me. I want to make sure when I'm driving through Sunrise that it's upkept and there's no hazards in any way.
Okay.
So I will say one thing, and I've been sharing this recently with our community, and even the last night our commission meeting.
Yes.
On University, it's one of the most dangerous streets in Broward County.
Wow.
And also obviously in Sunrise. And so there's a strip on that area where cars are speeding. There's been a number of car accidents. I've witnessed car accidents. I've seen head-on collisions. I've seen fatalities. I mean, it's scary. So for years and years, I've been advocating for FDOT to kind of take a look at this road and redesign it in some way for any kind of improvement. And I wasn't getting the feedback that I wanted till finally, after pushing,
yes,
State Representative Dan Daly and I were able to meet with our team and FDOT, police, fire, and we finally came to the solution of fixing and improving part of that road very soon. So you'll be seeing some construction on there, like the Peanut Island, and cars are crossing over and head-on collisions. So we're going to avoid that.
That is very commendable, because I always think that not just people who are in policy, but people on the roads, they don't take road safety that seriously, because everyone thinks they are the best driver, and everyone thinks that, you know what, I can
it's not going to happen to me.
Not going to happen to me. But the thing is, it is a one in one. If sometimes when it happens to you, unfortunately, you don't live to tell the story about it. So that is extremely important. I can't wait to see that happen. And maybe, I'm thinking about moving down this side soon to be closer to the station, of course. So
where are you now?
I'm in Lake Worth.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm in Lake Worth.
That's a big distance away from the Sunrise.
Yes, I'm in Lake Worth, so I gotta come to Broward County soon. So when I come down here, like, people down here know who I am, but when I'm up in Lake Worth, no one knows who I am. Like, okay. But when I walk, hey Raúl, it's you. I'm like, yeah, it's me. Oh, awesome. And so apart from designing of roads, what advice would you give people who use the road daily? What measures can they do for public safety?
Slow down. I don't know how much more I can say. Slow down when you see a school bus. Slow down when you see pedestrians. Slow down when you see a bicycle. I mean, slow down. You're not saving any time. I mean, it's just, statistics show you're only saving a minute and a half when you're speeding 60 down the road. It's amazing how many small little accidents happen, and then lives are taken for the carelessness. So it's really sad.
And we have HQ Percy, a Jamaican who lives in Broward or Miami-Dade. He said, I think he works with emergency services. He said, it is true, I've cleared a few accidents on universities before. That because and everyone, no matter where you are in Florida, everyone knows university. It's such a popular stretch, but people just...
I live on university.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's not fun coming in and out of my property.
Wow.
And then it's scary, really is. And a lot of roads, Oakland, Sunset Strip, Pine Island, you name it. Everyone thinks they're in a speed race down the road. So the university is one of the scariest.
Oh, wow. And for people who are living in Sunrise or in other communities, what would you tell people who want to be for example, I live in Sunrise. I want to be a better citizens of Sunrise per se. I want to be involved. What can I do as a regular person who lives in the city?
That's a great question. There are so many programs the city offers. We have Sunrise Leadership Academy, SLA. We have RLA, which is Resident Leadership Academy, and these are programs that are focusing on our youth at a high school to get involved in our government, advocating, and just knowing the process on, government. And same thing for our residents, any homeowner associations, get involved, be a part of speaking up, using your voice. Sometimes if you see something, I know everyone says it's a little cliche, see something, say something. But it's so true.
It is true.
And you know what? I'm that person where it's like, I'll keep saying things and people are tired of me talking, but
Mhm.
at the end of the day, I'm going to get results.
Yes.
You may not like
yes.
it, but at the end, there's a reason why I'm advocating and pushing and on it.
Yes,
So,
yes. He just confirmed. Okay, he's with Plantation Fire Department.
Oh,
okay.
okay. What's his name?
Is Mr. HQ President? Please give me
Okay.
your real name, sir, because the Instagram name. I want. He's my friend. I don't even know his real name.
Okay.
Drop me your real name on here, Mr. Plantation Fire Department. Okay. So I can address it by your real name one day.
Yeah.
Finally, yes.
Yeah.
So okay. So some of people can be involved in some of these things, and there's a question I asked a public official who I had on yesterday from Miami Beach.
Mhm.
Is that people in cities or in administrations, they aren't aware of things like elections or there's so many people who do not know.
Yeah.
And we all have this idea that, well, our vote doesn't count. And I was one of those persons who believe that. But when you realize it, when it comes to the smaller or more intimate the election, the more the vote counts.
You just nailed it. So presidency, great. Come out, vote for your president.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, it's very important that you are voting for the right local elected official, because they're the ones who are affecting your daily lives. They're the ones for your community, business, development. I mean, everything, every
Mhm.
policy in the city that you live in, it's important to choose a right elected official.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So guys, I'm here, of course, with Deputy Mayor Jacqueline Guzman, A. Guzman here of Sunrise, and we're having a wonderful conversation. And is there anything else you'd like to say to the people who are listening from both Sunrise? I see them here to Sunrise, Plantation,
Okay.
Oakland. Who else have here? Miami. Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
I just want to say, well, one, I'm running for re-election
Yes.
myself.
Yeah. Oh, yes, please.
So this November 2022, I'm running for re-election for City Commission in City of Sunrise.
Okay.
I'm hoping to have your support for City of Sunrise voters. If you're not a voter, get involved. Make sure you use your voice. And you know what? I want people to know that I am very accessible. I'm very visible.
Yes.
Reach out to me. I'm always available and will help in any way I can.
Where can we find you?
So I'm on Facebook and social media.
Okay.
So Facebook is Re-elect Deputy Mayor Jacqueline Guzman.
Okay.
Instagram is Deputy Mayor Jacqueline Guzman.
Okay.
And then there's the City of Sunrise email. You can reach out to me, which is jguzman@sunrisefl.gov if you want to email me any questions regarding the city.
Okay. And in my recap, of course, guys, I'll definitely add all your social media handles so
Okay.
people can find
Great.
you, guys. So guys, I'm here. If you're just joining, of course, you can rewatch the interview on YouTube, because we're going the interview goes up directly after,
Okay.
so we can give you a copy of the interview too,
Awesome.
so you can have it. So guys, we're gonna take our break soon, and then we're gonna come back with our food. Of course, you can stay by if you want, because we're gonna have the food section afterwards. Or
Food. There's
Yes.
any food here?
Yes.
What kind of food?
yes, you're gonna see when we go outside. Okay,
I like
guys?
Jamaican food, Haitian food.
It's gonna be Jamaican.
Island food.
It's gonna be island food.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Unfortunately, guys, you won't be able to enjoy the food because you're not here. But I would love to invite you, some of you guys, to come by one day.
Speaking of food,
Yes.
I have a group on Facebook called Sunrise Foodies.
Sunrise
City of
Foodies.
Sunrise Foodies. So
Okay.
yes, please join.
All right, guys. So we're gonna add that to in my recap when I come back. So I'll see you guys in a second.